Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Tactical Friday. You heard from him this past Monday, and it is my blessing to welcome Chris Ryan back to the show as we dive a little bit more into Gobundance. Chris, welcome to the show, my friend.
Again, so grateful. I have had so much fun with you on the first segment. I can only imagine how this is going to go as well.
Oh man, this is one of my favorite pieces of it because we can talk about journey, we can talk about story, but the show's all about tactics. What do we do today to take action on the mission and vision of a great guest like you? And Chris, obviously, GoBundance is an amazing organization as a whole. We really unpack that really well. We unpack the importance of it, the mission, the vision, how awesome as a whole the organization is. But I really want to get into the individual experience, the person that is showing up, the member of the tribe that's showing up to these adventures, that is utilizing what GoBundance is offering. What would you say are like the top couple takeaways? If I were to jump into GoBundance, what are you seeing me get out of these experiences? What are you seeing me get out of these adventures that is really just that driving force of like, oh man, I'm coming back for more of this?
So let me frame this in the concept of a bullseye, and we're going to start with the innermost circle, and we're going to work our way out. So the first thing that we do is we put you into a small, intimate group called the Go Pod. It's usually 4 to 6 men, and it is aligned based on wealth, based on industry expertise, sometimes based on geography, and you get your core group. And in the context of those core groups, there are no sacred cows. You can talk about anything and everything. And buddy, boy, do we. You would, if you were to take it to the absolute extreme in terms of thoughts, ideas, concepts, and topics, we've probably been there before. And it is a platoon, it is a squad, if you will, of the people who you ultimately trust most because they know your stuff and you know theirs. So that's the bullseye, if you will. Outside of that, we have a lot of local activities based on the about 45 or so different markets that we have across the United States. So I'm taking a text message a second ago. Guy's doing a program in Houston. Another guy's doing a top golf event in Philadelphia. Someone else is doing something in Miami. Someone's doing something in New Orleans, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Denver, Chicago, New York City, Boston, Atlanta, blah, 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 right? So we do all kinds of cool stuff there. And it's not only that we do stuff as men, we also do stuff as couples, right? So the wives get engaged as well. So that would be kind of the second. The third area is we have, I think it's 12 or 13 virtual programs right now. So for those individuals that are interested in moving their net wealth from 7 to 8 figures, we have a program called 7 to 8. For those that are interested in philanthropy and being philanthropic, we have a program called Gobundance Gives. We have a program called Investor Spotlight. We have a program called Member Spotlight. We have a program for the wives called the Go Wives program. We have another program for the family called Founding. We have virtual programming. Then we also, so that would be the next layer. And then one ring outside of that is we have a total of 8 conferences. We have 2 groups within GoBundance in the men's group. We have the elite group, which requires a net wealth of 1 million. And then we have the champions group, which requires a net wealth of 5 million. We have 4 tribe-wide events where we'll have 300-400 on the high side, 100-200 on the low side, folks come and attend a tribe-wide event. We did one in Park Cities, Utah, where we all went skiing, snowmobiling, and whatnot. In January, we just did one in Miami, and we have one coming up the 21st to the 24th in Detroit, Michigan in July. And we have these conferences, which are really an excuse to get everybody together. And in small groups, medium size, and large groups, we pull everybody in. Matter of fact, this will be the first public announcement of what I'm about to say, but we have been honored and lucky to have Dave Asprey, who you may know as the founder. He's the godfather of biohacking. He's coming and speaking at our Detroit event. And he's going to talk about his most recent Upgrade Labs program, which is all about creating facilities for everything from red light to cryo to compression suits to you name it. And so we have these conferences. We also have trips, singles trips, couples trips, guys trips, adventures trips. We also go to other conferences. So if you're interested in crypto, we had about 40 of us go to the Bitcoin conference. We're working on everything from looking at Davos, the TED conference, the Milken Institute programming, and others, because we're constantly looking to learn. We're constantly looking to fellowship. And as a group, individually and collectively, we're constantly looking to grow. So those are the kind of programs that we offer. We also have another program called Micro Tribes. We have 27, 28 different asset class groups: multifamily housing, workforce housing, commercial real estate, crypto, public markets. You name the asset class, we have a group. We have a huge veterans group. I think I may mention that to you previously, where all the veterans come together. And regardless of service, if you're in from the Coast Guard to the Navy, Army, Merchant Marine, you name it, we all come together and we spend time talking to one another. And that fellowship, ultimately, in all of these different rings that I talk about, the fellowship and the membership is, to me, what I believe ultimately is the greatest value of Gobundance.
And that's, I was really about to hit on that piece of it as a follow-up question, because I know a big piece of this, especially in the military world, but definitely entrepreneurship world. And this is overall value of a mastermind, but even further, because you're a mastermind with life, right? Not just a mastermind on business like mine is. And a big piece of what your members, the people in your tribe, they've essentially said no to that conventional life, right? They've said no to that 9 to 5. They said no to doing that normal, I was always taught you go to college and you get a good job and you stay there for 30 years. And as a millennial, that's not really a piece of what life is anymore, right? Gen Z especially. So a lot of these people are a lot of these members are people that have said no to that conventional living. They might be a lone wolf. They might be seeking this community in the military. Great example. I lived with 40 men in Afghanistan. Coming back to living by myself was a very difficult transition when you have your family literally right next to you. So a big piece of this connectivity is that it's really people looking for that community, like you're talking about, looking for that safety, the stability, the security of people that they can put an arm around, people that they can lean on, that have that shared experience, which is why the military is such a tight-knit unit. It's like my platoon, like we're tight-knit. I still talk to them all the time. Memorial Day just passed. That's a heavy day for us, right? That's one of those that you'll never see that elsewhere, except possibly in a group like this. Having Gobundance as this community where you take a bunch of lone wolves, put them in the same room and create a pack out of them, that is a really valuable aspect to it that I think a lot of people are missing in the business world.
Yeah, and the business world is easy to look at, and it's great, right? And we all want to be accomplished. We all want to be successful. We all want to be wealthy. We want to have achievement in that space, and I think that's super important. As I mentioned in my previous episode with you, I think where we really separate and differentiate ourselves is we pull open the aperture of our vision well beyond just the business side of life. One of the comments that you made before in terms of how you identify, oftentimes, especially with men, we identify with our work. We identify with our success. We identify with our materialism. That is not
We've almost
been
taught that, right? That's almost been like a generational teaching, right? A societal piece. It's really hard to unlearn that. You have to literally unlearn, untrain, reshape that in your mind.
Yeah. It's the difference between chess and checkers. If we're playing checkers, brother, it's easy. We're going to high five each other. We've made millions. We run businesses. We've accomplished shit. That's great. And there's nothing wrong with that. King me, buddy. King me. Right? That's the checkers. Life ultimately, especially once you achieve a level of success, life pivots to chess, and none of us have been taught how to play chess. In effect, Gobundance, and it's a metaphor I haven't used before, in a very real way, Gobundance is a school for future life chess masters. And we want to get you as early as possible to work with you to allow you to be the optimal husband, father, business owner, investor, employer, human being that you can be.
I love that. And a big piece of it is really stepping into your true self, who you are beyond the uniform, who you are beyond the business suit. And I love that.
Spot on.
Chris, absolutely amazing programs. I appreciate you identifying all those things, the takeaways, the tactics beyond, or the tactics involving Gobundance and the tactics that y'all use to implement for the tribe. If somebody wants to reach out to you, connect with you, learn more about Gobundance, can you give us one more time, give us the opportunity to do so? What's the best way to find you?
The website is www.gobundance, GOBUNDANCE.com. That'll give you a ton of information. My email is Chris, CHRIS.Ryan, RYAN, @gobundance.com. You're also welcome to reach out to me. I get a lot of inquiries, as you would expect. I pride myself in doing my best to answer each and every one. If there's something that I can do to help, I stand ready and I'm happy to do it. GoBundance is not for everybody. And to be perfectly candid with you, if any of your audience is looking just for deal flow, investment activity, and an opportunity simply to move the dollars and cents in their life, there are better organizations than GoBundance. And not that we don't do that, not that we're going to provide that value, but that really is where a lot of masterminds that I've been a part of and other organizations end. And it doesn't even come close to the starting line of where I want GoBundance to be. And thankfully, where with the 4 founders, GoBundance has become.
I love it. I encourage everybody to reach out, learn more about GoBundance, excuse me, get involved, find this extra piece that it seems like a lot of us are really missing in life. And Chris, again, thank you so much for your time, for the wisdom, and for spreading the word and your legacy with GoBundance, my friend.
Outstanding. Best to you and to your audience. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on this program, and I really, really have enjoyed my time with you, Zach.